Okay, we'd like to welcome you to Fabric Chicks Live at noon. Devin, tell them a joke.
There's no one watching.
Okay, they're gonna watch later, so tell them a joke. Do you know where the butterfly quilt is?
In the nest.
Does anybody know where the butterfly quilt is?
That was the joke.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Don't laugh.
Like literally, does anybody know where the butterfly quilt is?
Oh, well, because you're the owner, remember?
It's right here on the front of the table. Do you guys pay attention to your surroundings ever?
No.
Okay. So welcome to Fabric Chicks Live at noon. You know we're always running around like chickens with our heads cut off. Okay. So let me turn on because Roger will not read me the comments. So let me turn on my phone so I can get you girls' comments. Let's see. Sorry, girls. We're always running behind. We have Anna up in, Anna's upstairs. She's on her third quilt, long arming it today. She's almost, she just started her third quilt. So if you long arm your own quilts, you can get them done in a jiffy. Okay, if Debbie is watching, between 3 and 4 is perfect today. We will see you then. Okay, let me find today's madness. Okay, here we go. Okay, so if you have any comments throughout this, you can always feel free to type them in and we'll try to answer them. We are going to kind of explain how I make patterns to do my own pattern, how I develop my patterns to make my own quilts. But first, let me see. Hi, Carolyn Pereira. It's good to see you. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Louise. Hi, Sandy and Carolyn. And Carolyn. Gosh, so many Carolyns. 3 Carolyns in one moment. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Sue. Hi, Judy. Diane says she's working with Angelina and she loves it and Fabric Magic. I hope you're going to come, Diane, to Saturday's Fabric Chicks Textile Art Group because I think we're going to have lots of, every product that we have, every single person that uses it kind of tweaks it in their own way. So I'm excited to see because, I use Texture Magic mostly for doing tree trunks like this. It shrinks up about 30%. So I use Roger's trying to check his cell phone. Okay, you're welcome. Did you like it, Vinny? No. Okay. It didn't work. I'm like you. I have to. Yeah. It was too big. Right. Do you have a big table space? No. Yeah, so I think that's where it really comes in handy for the quilters that have those ginormous throats and the ginormous tables. Then they like that big embroidery. But yeah. I'm not a hooper, so I can't give you any advice. But I'm with you. Yeah. But thank you. Just spray Material Magic and stabilize it the best you can so it won't pucker. Material Magic? Material Magic. It's a liquid. It's kind of like a starch on steroids. Oh, okay. So you can spray your stuff with that also. Okay, great. Yep. Thank you. I know. Everybody always loves to come right during the middle of the lives. Okay, so well, you could come over here. You want to come? Oh, she's like, we want to be a star, except for not really. Okay. Carolyn, thank you. I actually bought this off of a lady in Folsom at the Folsom Quilt Show. One day she was wearing it, and I said I loved it, and she said she made it. Wait, Roger's doing sign language. I have to come close so you can see it. And then Penny made me this. Look, Penny Barger, are you there? Penny Barger made me this one. And she made me matching earrings.
You show it very well.
Oh, sorry. Here, can you see it now?
Not the earring, the necklace.
Oh, what? Okay, what do you want?
You said this necklace.
This necklace here, Penny Barger made me.
It's got a picture of some sort that I was trying to show.
Can you get?
Ladies.
Okay.
Oh, it's not a picture. It's
okay.
Stone.
Okay. Diane says she's been considering the Reno quilt show, but it seems the hotel is booked. I don't think it's booked yet. There was still rooms. I just made my reservation maybe like 2 or 3 days ago, Diane. I would call them though. I called them and asked, and then I told them the group code for the Reno quilt show. I did book a hospitality room though, because I've got the kids and we're there for a week, so we have to have a little bit more space. Okay, let's see. Hi, Christine from Pensacola, Florida. Season says, "Go, Anna." In a minute, you'll hear she's loading her quilt right now, but in a minute it will sound like there is a train above our head. Okay, so I think I have, hey, Peggy. Oh, Charlie's loving the bare shoulders. Hey, Charlie, I'm just going to say, look, Charlie, it costs a lot of money to look this cheap. Isn't that what Dolly Parton said? It costs a lot of money to look this cheap. Well, you know, there's nothing more exciting than when a 10-year-old compliments you on your bare shoulders. All right. Okay, Kathleen Rader, what are you bummed about? You have to put in the rest of it. Hi, Mary Beatty. Diane, it could be hot in Reno in June. Our weather is really unpredictable. Like right now, I'm in flip-flops, and this weekend, I'm probably going to be in snow boots again. So you just never know. In June, you could have snow or you could have sun. Like it doesn't really get warm enough for us to get into our swimming pool until like July. Because it is so unpredictable. Cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. Mary Beatty, I'm glad I never disappoint you. Mary Beatty, call me so I can give you Joan's phone number because she said she'll bring you on Saturday. Okay. All right. So, okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and one thing I want to tell you guys is that on Friday, we're not going to have a live celebration, but we are going to be interviewing Stephanie Brandenburg from Fron Designs. She has a new fabric line for Northcott, amazing sunflowers and flowers and all kinds of fun stuff. And we are working on doing a Zoom workshop with her. So all that's kind of in the works. I know we have a lot in the works. So Rondi, don't even ask me about Sandra Mullen. I have not had time to call her. Devin and I were up in Tahoe all day yesterday with a pop-up shop. So we tore the whole shop apart yesterday morning, loaded up, drove to Tahoe, did a pop-up shop for a couple hours, drove it all home, put it all back in the shop last night. And then we had a bunch of the ladies from the retreat group come down to the shop this morning. So it's been kind of crazy. So I just, Saturday, Mary Beatty. Name of the backing I used on Sunday. Mary, I have no idea what you're talking about. What backing did I use on Sunday? Lynn says the nugget will be cold, so bring a sweater. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to say before I lost my train of thought. Inside the hotels, it's air conditioned. It's always cold. So yeah, I would definitely bring a sweater. Okay. Kathleen shared about Friday's Live. Looking forward to the interview. Good. Okay, so Stephanie, you guys are going to love her. She is one of the most genuine, creative, loving, like, I don't think that woman could make anybody mad ever. She's just one of those people that she walks in a room and it lights up. But so I'm so excited. She's going to be, we're going to be interviewing her Friday at noon. And then I also want to tell you, I think what we're going to do, because we're going to be starting up in Tahoe again for retreat groups, we do the pop-up shop almost weekly from now until like October, as long as everything stays healthy and everybody, you know, the world stays sort of normal. So we're going to give up our Wednesdays at noon because we're still doing the Wednesdays at 2. So this way you guys will have a little bit more of a morning to enjoy, and I'll have a little bit more of a morning to try to get my work done. So we're going to give up our Wednesdays at noon. So we're going to, Fabric Chicks is just going to do Monday and Friday at noon. And then that will give us more time to do things nice instead of kind of running around ragged all the time. So I am going to
Mayor Vitti said the backing for Monday, not Sunday. Was it this you were working on?
Diane, I think you would enjoy it. Yes, this is Stephanie's flowers here. Okay, wait, we're gonna go on a little field trip. I know Roger hates this. Follow me, Roger. I have a whole Stephanie section in the shop that we have had for years. So follow me. I'm gonna show you the Stephanie section. Oh, Devin, can you show them Stephanie Brandenburg's section here.
Okay. So it's somewhere right here, she said. I don't know. Right?
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right here?
So this is Stephanie Brandt. We have a whole section in our shop of her stuff. So this is one of her designs that we made. And what we've done is we've bedazzled, she calls it thread punk, the flowers. So we've got silks, we've got embellishments, we've got tulle, we've got all kinds of crazy dimensional stuff sewn on there. Yes, Susan, do you need that demo right now or a different day? Well, I can tell you how to do it. Rondi, this is our last Wednesday at noon. It's our last Wednesday at noon. So these are all Stephanie's flowers. That's kind of what I know her to be famous for is these. She's a painter, really. And so these are all like her fabric from her paintings. And then here's a sunset one here.
Turn the lights on.
Oh, Roger says we could turn the lights on for you ladies. I don't think that helps any, but okay. And then here is this. So this is this panel right here. And then this is it when it has all the embellishments. Just so you can kind of get an idea of how different they look. It's gorgeous like this, but sometimes we just want to make things a little bit different and put our own foot in it. So Rondi, Wednesdays at noon, we're giving up for right now. We're just going to try it for a little bit so we can kind of try to get caught up. Because, I got bookwork to do and quilting to do, and we're going to be packing and going up to Tahoe once a week. So we're going to give it up for a little bit. Okay, Season. So you're going to measure your quilt. Season needs to put a sleeve on it, and it's already bound, her quilt. So what you're going to do is you're going to cut an 8-inch piece of fabric, and you want it to be 1 inch less than the width of your quilt. So if your quilt's 30 inches, you're going to cut a piece 29 inches by 8 inches, and then hem the edges so it's a finished edge. Turn it in 1/4 of an inch and 1/4 of an inch. Hem it, iron it in half. Yeah, iron it in half. Sew it. You don't actually have to iron it in half. Just pin it in half. Sew 1/4 inch, and then put it kind of roll it so that your seam is in the middle of the back, and then iron it, and then hand stitch the whole thing on. And you're going to want to stitch where you seamed the edges. You're only going to applique stitch the bottom one so that you leave it open to put your sleeve in, or your stick, or whatever you're putting it, your pole, whatever you're putting in. Okay, so let me know, Susan, if that answered your question. If not, I'll try to explain it again. Nothing like putting me on the spot for my memory banks. Okay, let me know if you really want me to do a demo on that, Susan. I think that my explanation should be good enough. Okay, so we're going to head back over here. But I do want to first point out down here, Roger, you can see Stephanie has great basics. They're kind of painterly basics, so they have a little bit of movement. So if you want some solids, look at how gorgeous these are. But there's a little tiny bit of movement. And then this is one of my favorites, this green. It's got a little bit of green and gold. I use this in leaves all the time. I use this one in leaves all the time. So we got lots of fun stuff. Look at how vibrant and bright this one is. Bye, Vinny. All right, we'll see you soon. Okay. So that's Stephanie. We'll meet her on Friday with all of her new ideas. This is also one of her patterns and fabric that we made up a while ago. So we just love everything about her. She's kind of a vintage collector. She just has amazing taste. Okay, back here. Oh, you can fuse. Anne is saying you can fuse your sleeve on season. I would just make sure that you fuse it and then just tack it a little bit, because sometimes the fusing when you're rolling your quilts and it kind of comes up. Okay. Let's see. Beth, I am taking up. What are you taking up, Sherry? Oh, Mary Beatty. She says, better your footprint on your artwork than your foot in your mouth. True story. True story. Although it all happens. I'm taking the gnome class. Do I have to use fleece for the body and hat? No, you could use flannel, you can use cotton, you can use whatever you want. The only thing that I would make sure that you have is like a piece of flesh colored for his nose. I think his hands have mittens, so you could use any fabric for any of that. We are not fabric snobs necessarily when it comes to making gnomes. Oh, perfect. And you made Season's Day. Hey, Connie. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. I hate when I skip somebody. So if I skip you, you can always just type it in so that it comes up again. Okay, so today we're going to show you how to make your own pattern. Because a lot of you are signed up for our collage class, which is coming up. So in our collage class, you can use any collage pattern you want. We don't care. You can use the Laura Heine pattern. You can use anybody's pattern. You can also use your own. So I'm just going to give you this little tip because the class is coming up on April 28th. But so you can cut out shapes. If you wanted to cut out flowers like the Laura Heine's patterns are famous for, you can do that. If you want to do shapes like circles or squares, you can also do that, especially if it's a more masculine project like a wolf or a fox. You could definitely do something besides flowers. If you want to, you can just cut random pieces just to fill in your shapes. But what I want to tell you is if you want to do your own pattern, because a lot of us, we're kind of at that point where we don't necessarily want to always be doing somebody else's artwork. We kind of want to venture out and do something of our own. So this is a great place to do that because you're not investing a ton of time in this project. It's kind of, unless you want to. I mean, it's whatever you want. But what I did for this pattern here, so this is one of our Fabric Chicks patterns. And what I did is I went to coloringpages.com, free downloadable, or whatever the one is that's not copywritten. So I think it's free downloadable coloring pages for adults or something like that. And I just typed in butterfly. And so what I did here is I took the butterfly coloring page and I took it, I put it inside of a protector sheet with a fine tip Sharpie marker. I outlined all the lines that were on the coloring page, which it's a coloring page, so there weren't that many lines. But I traced it onto the protector sheet, although I didn't really need to because it already is an outline. So I could have just taken that coloring page to my printer. You don't necessarily want to go to Staples or Office Depot because they charge a lot to blow your projects up. If you can find a printer that does your blueprints, they typically do not charge that much. And I go in and I always tell them I want it this big by this big. I never know the dimensions. I just tell them on the biggest size paper that is like the cheapest price point. So I want to say it's usually like a couple dollars for them to enlarge my patterns. So, so that's what I did with this. And then I just cut out a billion flowers. So if you're doing that for the class on the collage class and you want to do flowers, you can iron your fusible, whatever's your favorite. My favorite is Steam-A-Seam Too Light. You can iron that on the back of your fabrics and cut out all of the empty space. So like all the black or the white that's behind the flowers, you can cut all that out to just have the flower shapes. And then I do kind of like to fussy cut some of the flowers so that I can have fun edges. And then I just appliqued batiks. In this case, I appliqued batiks for the flowers. And then I use the hot ribbon to finish the edges nicely. Because sometimes I don't necessarily want a raw edge like I have here on the butterfly. So I use the hot ribbon around the flowers. And then I use some Copic markers to do a little bit of shading, some crystals. I use the hot ribbon on the stems. So hot ribbon kind of is like a little cheater way of making your project look more finished. So we definitely have kits for this if you want to do this for the collage class, or you can do your own kits, your own fabric. We honestly don't care. So then the other pattern that you might want to make is like for a landscape quilt. So if you have a photo that you really love, like this here is our Lake Tahoe quilt. So this here is Emerald Bay right here. So this was a photo that we had, and we what I did is I took it and I put it in my protector sheet. Let's see. And for those of you that are kind of new to this, you might want to do more detail. But what I did here is I took this photo, and can you see that photo? I took that photo, I put it inside my protector sheet. Look at how I've got all this on my protector sheet. So then when I take it to my printer, after I trace everything out and I decide I like it, so you want a fine tip Sharpie because you don't want it to smear and you want it to be pretty thick lines. But I don't need to know every single little pine needle because I'm never going to sew it that way. I just need the main shapes. So then on this one, on this, I thought it was there was not enough going on over here for me. So I took another photo and I superimposed another tree so that I have two trees. See that? I've got a tree here and a tree here. And I might not have liked this for some reason. I have no idea at this point because I also did it here, which is so unlike me to do it twice. So there must have been some reason why I did it a second time. So this here is the basic outline for this. And then I took it to the printers and I told them to blow it up. So here is what they did. So then this gives me my pattern. So I know that I need a tree trunk that's that shape. I need a tree trunk that's that shape. I need some branches here. I've got the mountain here, Emerald Bay here. I've got some trees here, but I don't really care about the exact trees because I'm going to use wash away and threads to create my own trees. So if you look really close, I don't know how much you can see here, but if you look really close, I've got little tiny pine trees all out of thread. This is all thread here. And then I've got tulle here in the lake to give it a little bit of shading where the tree would be kind of over it. These are all trees made out of thread, bushes, some lichen. So basically that's how I create patterns. Super simple. I've got the next one in the works, which could be forever. my sister-in-law took a photo of a butterfly in my parents' yard that I think is pretty interesting. It reminds me of my childhood. So I thought I would do this one. So I have traced it here and I've taken it down to the printers and he blew it up for me. And so this is what my pattern looks like. So that's my next project in my spare time. Maybe on Wednesdays when I'm not doing these anymore, but I'll still be on it too for Wild Wednesday Live. So don't give up your whole Wednesday. Don't think you have a whole Wednesday to do nothing. But I did want to show you that you can do super easy landscapes if you're not real comfortable with landscapes. These, I literally did not have a pattern. I just kind of cut with my rotary cutter, just random mountain shapes. I used fabrics that already kind of looked like the area it's at so that I didn't really have to do too much work. So these are super easy. These were row by rows at one point in our lives. For those of you who don't know what row by row is, we had all the shops across the United States and in other countries. We gave away a free pattern for everybody that traveled between like June and September or something. And then this is another one. This one's kind of my collage landscape. So again, I just used a rotary cutter to kind of cut where the sand was. And then I just fussy cut all the flowers to give it kind of a little garden look. So this is super easy, like a 30-minute project, just to kind of experiment with different techniques. Okay, let me see if you girls have any questions. And then I got to show you a new kit that came in. Okay, Lynn, come in and look at it. Cause bring in your quilt top because it's hard to match grays and whites. I was asking about the heat because I run 5 or 6 miles every morning, not used to heat anymore. Oh my goodness, Diane. Well, if you go out early, it definitely won't be hot. We always have kind of cold evenings. So early in the morning, it's always like a good temperature. That's usually when I try to go hiking. I don't know about 5 or 6 miles though. That's crazy. No, that's what I wish I could do. I'm working on it. Okay, Christy, sign in up for is Christy even on? I haven't seen Christy yet. Oh, Diana, I'm glad you got home safe.
Yeah, Christy was on.
Yep, I agree with Dorothy. You'll be fine. It cools off quite a bit. Hot ribbon. So hot ribbon, Devin, can you get me a package of hot ribbon? It's in the Halloween room. On the center island.
She was on at 12:05.
Okay. So hot ribbon is actually
There she is.
I'm here. Billion different pieces of fabric, like literally billions of little tiny pieces of fabric chopped up into like micro little pieces, and then it's fused back together so that it creates a finished edge. I don't really know. Okay, let me see. Durable iron-on polyester ribbon is machine washable and perfect for creating custom designs and embellishing applique. Available in 22 colors and 2 metallic colors. So it comes approximately 2 yards, iron-on ribbon, machine washable. So this is what it looks like. So one side, this is the lime green. This is one side. The back side is fusible. So you take it, and I use, let's see. I use this little mini iron, the Clover mini iron. And so I would lay this down like this. I know, how many demos can you guys get in one day? So I would heat up my iron, of course. And then I would lay this right here on the outside edge of, here, let's do it on here because this one doesn't have ribbon. So say I want to do a leaf like this. I would lay it down right here. And then I would just take little, I call Pac-Man bites. I would just go boop, 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 boop. You got to make noise while you do things. So I would literally just go like this and iron it on. And then once it's all where I want it, because say I've got a curve, I've got a curve, I'm going to hold it like this, and I'm going to take it to my project. See, it moved down a little bit. Yeah. So if I've got a curve, I'm going to go like this and just go wherever my fabric is. When I get up here to the point, I'm going to cut it at a 45-degree angle, and then I'm going to start a new piece here. So you can see right here where I've cut it and started with a new strip. And then I save, because you're cutting all these angles, but you see how it just curves? As you heat it up, it just curves beautifully. Here it's curved around the center here. See that curve? That's all just one piece. And because you're having to clip it to get your 45-degree angles, you end up with all these little tiny pieces. And I'm cheap, so I have a bag full of tiny little pieces that I save for this exact purpose. So that's the hot ribbon. If you have any other questions about it, just type it in. And then let me see. Okay, Diane, let me know. Harriet, let me know if you have more questions about the hot ribbon. We pretty much have it in lots of colors. Thank you, Dorothy. Oh, thank you, Kathleen. All right, let's see. Maybe 30 minutes for you. That is true. I do a lot. I mean, that's all I do is sew, and well, no, I pay bills mostly. I do a lot, so I'm pretty proficient at it. And I will tell you right now, I'm not a perfectionist. Like a leaf is a leaf. If it's not exactly like the pattern, I don't really care. Nobody's gonna know. So just roll with it. So if you look at the project behind you, Roger, this one, the redwoods, I mean, I can guarantee you those leaves and those flowers are not exactly like the pattern. So I do kind of take shortcuts because to me it looks good enough. Sandy, you do need to learn how to not be a perfectionist. Life is too short to worry and stress out about things being perfect. If they're good enough for you and they make you happy, just keep going.
Peter wants to know how much is the hot ribbon.
$3.95 a package. I know Lynn Jenkins says we're getting our money's worth this last Wednesday live. I'm still going to be doing it on Mondays, girls. And if you have a question, we can always do like a pop-up one, except for you wouldn't have it in your calendar. Well, we could, if we need to, we'll add it back. So I'm just saying for the next couple, I don't know, months or something, till we kind of figure out what this new normal is. We've got a show in May, and me and Gracie are going to Cabo in May. So we just need to catch up and kind of get back on track. But we'll still be doing, for those of you that aren't familiar, we do quite a bit. So if you're not familiar with our Fabric Chicks Textile Art Group, that is an art group for kindergartners. No, it's an art group for all levels. So last month was our very first meeting. We did a jellyfish. So we give you we vote on a word, and then we give you some kind of a product or technique to experiment with. And do small projects. Don't get overwhelmed with some ginormous project. Do a small project because you're really just trying to dabble and learn about all the different products, because basically what you're doing is you're creating a toolbox. So I have right here, this here is my toolbox, okay? I know you guys who watch me, it doesn't look like I'm so organized, and I'm really not, except for that I am. So, except for I'm always stealing for these demos. But basically, anytime I do a new technique, I keep a small sample of it. So here I've got the directions on how to do confetti, and then I put it in my protector sheet. I've stolen a lot of these because we demo with them. But so like here's how to do fabric magic and tree trunks. And then I have a small demo here so that I can remind myself how to do it. So don't always use everything. You want to kind of save it. Like here's a tree trunk that I use part of it, and then I just throw it in here so that I have it if I do another project. And then here was a look. Here. Sometimes when I'm teaching a class, I have some of you that are really fast, so I give you this to practice with the hot ribbon. So here, it's going to be a freebie one of these days. Somebody's going to win all of these. But these are all hot ribbon that students have done during classes. This, way too curvy. Although it looks good, it's kind of, it just takes more time. Not that it's hard, it just takes more time. And as a beginner, it's a little bit hard. But then like here's one we took the Copic markers and we just embellished. And then you can go in and do all your thread painting. So that's kind of what I do is I just keep all my techniques. Like here was a fun one that we did in a class with Donna Greenwald. We took a piece of fabric, we stabilized it. It looks like we ironed it onto a piece of steam-a-seam. And then we traced a hummingbird from a coloring page. And we took the glitter, all that crappy cheap glitter you can get at Michael's, and some glue. I want to say we used the Elmer's glue. And then we just dipped all the glitter onto this. So when you cut this out, you basically created your own applique to applique onto any of your projects. I would not wash this, but it could totally go on a wall hanging. So that's my suggestion for today, that $1 million suggestion. Keep a binder with all the little different techniques that you're learning in the Fabric Chicks art group. Because then when you go to do a different project, say I'm doing my butterfly, I'm going to flip through my book and I'm going to be like, oh, that glitter hummingbird would be perfect on that. So it just is a place for you to kind of contain all your ideas, because most of us have shoe boxes and shoe boxes full of ideas, or we take classes and then in a year from now, we don't remember how to do the process. So just keep notes and keep it all in a box. Carolyn says art quilting helps get her away from being a perfectionist and try to be more creative. Perfect. Me too. Let's see. Anne says she likes hot ribbon. She just needs to remember to use it on more projects. Yes. Peggy's always keeping me in line. I'm frugal, not cheap. Okay, let's see. Hot ribbon is $3.95 a package, $4.95 for the metallics. And the metallics only come in silver and gold. Sandy needs the ribbon. Okay, you girls have to let me know what colors you want. I will find a color card. If I can remember, I'll find a color card and post it on the Fabric Chick Stitch Along. But it comes in like red, maroon, navy, royal blue, yellow, lime green, green, red, gray, white. I like to use the gray a lot because then I take my markers in and I shade it. So gray kind of is like the best for if you want to shade, because I don't want it to always be just one color. I know, Mary. See, Mary said she forgot about the hot ribbon because you don't use it. We learn so many new techniques, so we forget the good ones that we've already learned. And that says that's why she leaves threads on the floor and then throws it on a project. Never throw away your threads, girls. You can always. I actually look at this. I taught a class, a bedazzled class the other day, and look at all the goodies I found on the floor. So I totally saved them, and those will go into either somebody's kit for a sunflower or onto one of my projects. But, you know, we spend a lot of money on all of our supplies. Don't be wasteful, okay, girls? Don't be wasteful. That way we have more money to buy more stuff. Let's see. And I'm really looking forward to Cabo. Rondi, you know I don't know how to just vacation. I will probably be working. I'm sure I have Wi-Fi at the hotel. Perfect, Rosie. Let's see. Oh, everybody, you guys are all going to be considered hoarders pretty soon because you don't throw anything away. Let's see. Hey, Karen, are you moved into your new house yet? I've got a bucket of stuff to ship to you as soon as you are. Perfect time to make a sale. Wait, it moved. I don't. Oh, Devin, can you bring the whole display of hot ribbon? They want to see all the colors. Funny you should ask, Sherry. I do have a kit. Now you guys are gonna make me feel like a used car salesperson. We do have a kit for the bedazzled flower. It's $34, and this kit was for the bedazzled class last week or on Monday. And let me see. This was the finished project. So that's our new bedazzled sunflower panel for the moment. Till we sell out of them, and then we'll have to move on to something else. I still haven't decided if in my spare time I'm probably going to make some dimensional double-sided leaves. I just haven't gotten to it yet. Okay, Devin, can you show them all the colors? They want to see all the colors. Okay. So we've got hot pink, honey. There's more on the other side. I know. Lemon yellow, maroon, the lime I showed you already, the royal blue, the lilac. Oops, can you get the lilac, Devin?
Mm-hmm.
The lilac, orange. I use a lot of the orange, golden yellow, honey. I use a lot of those. Golden yellow, I think we put out already. Maroon, we pulled out already. Somebody's probably got red on top of the maroon or something because we've got them in two places. Or maybe not. I don't know. White, gray. Gray is what I use the most of because you can always take your markers and fabric markers and shade it. So I might make it green. I might make it any color. This one is purple. And then we've got the gold metallic here. So it's got some glitter in it. Gold metallic. So that one's $4.95. Blue, sky blue, purple, blue green, black, blue green, dark brown, and royal blue. Okay, let's see. Hi Pam, how are you? Karen says she loves your hair, Devin. We had the same problem. The people who sold us the house took care of it for about 10 years, so our house didn't even show up on Google Maps. Oh, they must be having a private conversation there. It's not hoarding if it is sewing art supplies. You never know what you're going to need. That is so true, Dorothy. And you never know what you're going to need on a Saturday evening when you start sewing and nothing's open. And for me, I only have so much time in my life to actually create. So I've got to have those supplies. So sometimes it is hard for me because I have half of my supplies at the shop and half of my supplies at the house. So it inevitably, when I go to create, I'm like, oh, I end up having to make a road trip. Oh, Karen's having a hard time with the post office. You know what? It's crazy to me how, post office, it's like a crazy thing. They get paid a lot of money to do their job right. But like we live on McKay Court, actually. Like if the ambulance was to come to try to find us, they would go to McKay Court. But if we called them, we would tell them we lived on Devon Court because our mailing address is Devon Court, but we don't but it like on the plot maps or whatever, it's actually McKay. And like if the AAA comes to our house because I've locked the keys in the car or something crazy, they end up at our neighbor's house because our neighbor is at 1691 Hoyt and we're 1691 Devon. But 1691 Devon only exists for the postman. It's crazy. It's crazy, but whatever. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? Each package of hot ribbon is $3.95, except for the metallics, Carolyn, are $4.95. Okay, I will start baskets for all of you. I'll go back and reread it. Lynn. Lynn is like the voice of, well, in my opinion, insanity, but probably, what the rest of the world thinks. Because, she's kind of got that math brain. Because we're all making excuses for our hoarderness. And she's saying she's sure that all hoarders feel the same way. Really might need that old burger wrapper someday. It's true. You never know. You could totally do some mixed media with that burger wrapper. You never know. Okay, so I think that's it. Well, let me just go over the classes real quick. I had them. Oops. Okay, let me go over the classes. Oh, look it. Here's my pine needles. They're not in my binder. They're on the table because I was probably showing them to somebody the other day. So it's hard for me to keep organized because I'm always showing them to you guys. That's my excuse, Lynn. That's my excuse. It could just be that my brain just doesn't work like that. I'm not like by nature. Today I was trying to clean up my closet. So I was trying to put away clothes because Roger had them all folded and nice. So I was trying to put them away. And every time I put one shirt onto the shelf, 6 fell off. So by the time I was done, I was like, forget it. I'm going to be late. But yeah, it's just not my nature. Okay, so upcoming classes, we've got, gosh, what day is April 28th from 5 to 7. We have collage, any collage you want to do. May 3rd, we have from 5 to 7, we have Threads 101. That is where you're going to learn and play with like 12 different thread weights. So we play with 100 weight to like 5 weight.
Did you read Carolyn's message? She wants to know how much is in a package, not how much it costs.
It has 4 strips like this, Carolyn, and it says 2 yards. So you've got 4 18-inch strips. It does say approximate, so I guess that's in case they don't have accurate measuring or their kids are measuring for them or something. Yes, Sherry. Oh, zipper class. I've got it here. I didn't get to it yet, Christy. Thank God for Christy. She keeps me online. We have the gnome class on May 5th from 5 to 7. So that's where we're going to make a dimensional like doll that's a gnome and embellish it. And then we have April 29th. We have National Zipper Day. So Linda McGeehee is going to be covering zippers again. Some of you took that class a couple weeks ago. But we've had a lot of requests from people on the East Coast because we're doing all of our classes from 5 to 7 after the shop closes so that I'm not pulled in too many directions. But all the people on the East Coast that are watching us are too tired at 5, which is 8 their time. So they're doing it from 8 to 10. So we're doing it from 9 to 11 on April 29th. So it's National Zipper Day. Everybody should celebrate. If you want to learn about zippers, Linda McGeehee, great teacher. 9 to 11 on April 29th. And then we have Eleanor Peace Bailey. We have the evening with Eleanor. We skipped this month with Eleanor. I think she's going to do it every other month. But she's a treasure. If you've never done anything with Eleanor, you don't necessarily have to be into doll making. That's what she's known for. That's what she has created her whole life around is her doll making. But she really is one of the most creative, talented women you will ever meet. She is a treasure. She is like the guru, probably like one of the, well, she was definitely like her and Virginia Robertson back in the day were the first doll makers to kind of make doll making an art. So Eleanor's going to be with us on May 12th from 5 to 7. The theme for this month is Bitsy Wee Bit Dolls. But don't get fooled that it's just about dolls. Like last time, it was all about chairs, and it's just inspiration and how she sees it and incorporates it in her art making. She does a lot of table runners or quilts or clothing, lots of applique, lots of dolls. I mean, if you can create it, you would love her whole yard is full of vintage sewing machines. Like she lives in Vancouver, Washington, where it rains all the time, but it's the whole yard is vintage sewing machines and fairy houses. It's incredible. We'll have to one of these days. I'll call her and see if we can do an interview and do a tour of her yard. Yes, Carolyn, I will work on all that. Diane wants to know, the collage class is April 28th. Today is the 20th, 21st. Diane, if I put a kit in the mail to you today, I think you would get it by the 28th. I can't guarantee it, but I mean, it is priority mail 3 days. So in a perfect world, you would definitely get it by the time the class is. And I want to say it is $25. So you can do one of our kits, or if you wanted, Diane, you could go to coloringpages.com and print out a design or a motif that you want to do. So either way, we can work that out. Okay, did I get everybody's questions? If I didn't,
No.
if I didn't get your questions, type them in real quick.
Dorothy Thomas Reed.
Dorothy, you need nothing for Eleanor's class. So Eleanor's class is more of a lecture. She does a slideshow, and we do show and tell. So anybody who wants to can bring a project that they've done. Does not have to be doll making. It's just show and tell. It's just kind of a wonderful evening. So she does a slideshow. You get a free pattern of whatever it is. So we did a chair pattern last month. The month before we did Tumbling Angels, I think. And then, so you get a free pattern, and then you get to spend the evening with Eleanor. Totally worth the $25. Well, it's easy for me to say because I do it for free. But everybody that does it loves it. And then, let's see. I think that's it. I think that's all the classes we have on the schedule for right now.
Carolyn wanted you to hold up your list of classes.
Oh, look, I've got all my notes on it. Sherry, what kind of chicken class do you want? Do you want to make the chicken doll? The one we had a chicken kit that we did. I'm thinking that must be what you're talking about, Sherry. Let me know which chicken class. So for those of you that are new to watching, we also have on Sunday, we do a Sunday Zoom. It's a social. We get lots and lots of chit-chatting going on. What I'm thinking is I'm going to start, because there's usually about 20 of us. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making rooms so that if you want to talk about doll making, you can go to this room. If you want to talk about this, you can go to this. If you want to talk about this, you can go to this room, so that we don't have so many conversations going on all at once. We might try that and see how that goes. And let's see.
Christy Lee says the schedule's on Instagram and Facebook.
Oh, perfect. Okay. So you can find our schedules everywhere. They are supposed to go into your orders, except for sometimes I think that we don't do it every week. So Sundays, so this Saturday, we have the textile art group. Anybody can join that. We meet once a month, the last Saturday of the month, and it's small projects. So don't feel obligated that you have to do some amazing project. Some of the ladies get carried away and do amazing artwork. And then others just do a small project just to practice and try out and play with the technique. So totally up to you. And then during our meeting, we talk, everybody kind of, if you want, everybody talks about the process and what they did on their project. So it's kind of fun. You'll learn a lot. And then we have Sunday Zooms, and that's all I think right now. Okay, Carolyn, we'll see you when we see you. And Carolyn says, good idea on the rooms. Oh, Sherry bought the doll kit. Sherry, you know what you can do? You can start cutting it out, and then if you get stuck if you get stuck on a process, just ask me and I'll demo that step. And I might even demo, like I demoed the Turn It All tool, which will help you turn things inside out. I demoed that not too long ago, but I could demo that again. Really, the thing that you want to be sure you do when you're doing doll making is to shorten your stitch length to like a 1.5, because you don't necessarily want to sew a 1/4 inch. Doll making is different than quilting. You might only want 1/8 inch of a seam. So shorten your stitch length because you want to be able to sew around the curves of the fingers or the curve of the nose. If you're doing a nose, as you're stitching it, put a little bit of stuffing there and stitch over it. That will hold the stuffing in the nose, because you know how when you're stuffing things and the stuffing keeps popping out into the main body, if you sew a little bit into the seam as you're going, that will help to hold that there. But that's all I've got for now, Sherry. But if you get going, you can always work on it during the Sunday Zooms, and I can help you with anything there too. Okay, I think that's it. All right, girls, go get lunch real quick. You have 1 hour until we're hosting Wild Wednesday Live. So I don't really know how to find Wild Wednesday Live. I always just go in and search for it on Facebook, and then it pops up. Sometimes I get an old video, so make sure that you're getting today's video. So make sure I'm wearing this shirt today. If you have me in some other clothes, you're watching an old show, okay? And I'm going to be interviewing Linda McGeehee. Let me see. Where's my notes? I've got Linda McGeehee, Beryl from Bonash. So she's going to do a whole demo on how to use the Bonash powder. A lot of you bought the Bonash powder last week on our Friday celebration. So she's going to give you a tutorial on that. She's super cute, adorable. You're going to love her demos. Patty Cakes, Handy Caddy, and that's it. So there's the door prizes. You guys want a sneak peek on the door prizes? 15 organza fat quarters is going to one person. The Bonash kit going to another person. A red, white, and blue fabric bundle going to another person. And Handy Caddy's giving out 5-piece set plus deluxe caddy. So $130 value. And then Quilters Havens giving out 2 digital patriotic panels. So tons of freebies. Join me in 1 hour on Wild Wednesday Live. Okay, let me see if I've got any other comments, and then I've got to go finish up before I have to start. Mary Beatty. You know what? Being a blonde, it's so easy to keep things straight. It just right here in my head. It's just the way it is. All right, we'll see you girls in an hour. Have a good break. Oh, Roger's not even anywhere near the live button.